And I just remembered to start recording. So tonight we're talking about goal setting, and not just goal setting for business wise, but goal setting with some passion behind it, because it's important that everything that you're doing in Beachbody, there's some passion behind it. And it's going to relate to your why. So I want you to think about, if you were to get into a car and drive somewhere you've never been before, you're going to need something to get there. You're going to need some directions to get there. You have a destination in mind, and you're going to need a roadmap to get there. So I want you guys to start thinking about these goals you create as your roadmap to get there. And they shouldn't be something that stress you out. They should just be something that kind of keeps you on track, on the road towards your destination. Coach Caleb had a video the other day where in the beginning, it's a goal setting one, and he's out there shooting like clay pigeons or whatever in his video, and he's basically relating it to if you go out with a blindfold on and you're just shooting all over the place, you're not going to hit anything dead on. You want to have a plan, and you want to kind of have a clear vision of what you want to do with this business. And when I'm talking about goal setting, I want you guys to think about a bunch of different areas. I'm not just talking about rank, okay? We know that that's a huge goal, and it sort of is something that people are always shooting for, some sort of rank advancement if that's what they want. But there are a few different categories, and I'll go over each of the categories that I think will help all of us expand our business and create some more passion on the team. But instead of goals, you might want to plug in another word for them. So if goals stresses you out every time you see, oh, I have these goals that I have to hit, think of them as your vision or your mission or your intent. Okay, some intentions. Or if you want to tie it into Aspire Nation, you can think of them as your aspirations, things that you want to do this year. Let's see, and they want to be powerful. So here's the 7 categories that that I think we can all kind of plug into. So you can talk about your financial aspirations. Okay, you can talk about career and business, your free or family time. The 4th one is your health and appearance. The 5th one is relationship goals. The 6th one is personal growth. And the 7th is making a difference. So the important factor to think about when you're creating these aspirations is not just to write them down and say, I want to make more money. But you want to think about why. What is the passion behind making more money? What is that going to do for you? And how are you going to feel when you make more money? So say my big goal is to pay off student loans. Well, how am I emotionally tied to that? Because I can only imagine the day that I pay off this huge $60,000 debt, that this huge weight is going to be lifted off my shoulders. Like every month, I no longer have to think about paying off this gigantic payment every month. Now, whatever I do with that money otherwise, at least I know that that's gone. That's no longer weighing on me, and it is going to feel so freaking good to get rid of that, right? Or the next one was career and business. So say you do have a rank goal. Why do you want that rank? How does it feel when you get recognized? Do you like recognition? Do you want to be on stage at Summit celebrating 2-star, 5-star, premier coach, elite coach, whatever your goal is? How is it going to feel when you get there, to your family, to your friends, to your fellow coaches? Like just that excitement and like you earned this. You worked so hard for this, and that rank just is sort of like icing on the cake because you know how hard you've worked for it. Your free and family time. Maybe you want more time to spend with your kids or your spouse, and you're working. And you guys all know my goal at this point is not to stop working because I really like my job. But some people who do want to stop working, how's it going to feel when you can say, I don't need to work anymore because Beachbody is giving me enough money to stay home with my kid, or just, stay home and, I don't know, if you want excuse me, if you want to, like, you know, be a at-home mom or at-home wife and just kind of get things done around the house and build your business at home so you can cook dinner or something. If that's what you want, how's it going to feel to finally have that free time or that family time and that freedom, if that's what you're looking for? Your health and appearance. So, okay, so you want to lose 10 pounds, but how's it going to really feel? Gina had an awesome post today about her jeans, that she just got this new pair of jeans and she didn't think they would fit, and she put them on and it was like this outer body experience where, like, it's this huge emotional feeling tied to the actual goal. Okay, so you guys can get that emotional, you know, why I'm harping on the all of these topics, because there's an emotional tie to each one. Your relationship goals, that's not just your spouse or your significant other, but relationships with your family and with your friends. And how does that feel when you start to inspire a friend, when that friend that's giving you a hard time finally comes around and says, like, all right, something's working, what are you doing here? You're gonna feel good. Like, maybe your goal is to get, you know, your best friend involved and they've been giving you a hard time. And how's it going to feel when they finally come around and say, like, okay, I get it, something's working. And, you know, it's sort of just a reflection that you have inspired them to do something. Personal growth, that's all about our personal development books. And that can be a whole bunch of different things. Stepping out of your comfort zone is a big one. And how does it feel once you've, you know, stepping out of your comfort zone is nerve-wracking and anxiety-ridden and all of that, but how's it going to feel when you're done with that? It's like you just achieved something so great that you may have thought you could never do. And the last topic of making a difference, we see those top coaches posting things like donating to charity a ton of money because they can and they feel good about it, or tipping your server double because, or double, triple, whatever you have, because you have that money and you know how hard they work and you know where you know, you've been there before, or you know what they're going through. How does it feel that you can give back in a place where maybe you've struggled before, or maybe you had a hard time? So all of your goals, no matter what topic they are, should have that emotional basis. And that's why, you know, when you write them down, you talk about the actual goal, but that you attach this emotional word to it. And, you know, some words that, let me back up a little bit. So a goal you might have, or I don't know, a task you might want to start thinking about is creating one of those vision boards if you haven't already. Throw some things down on there, create your vision board, put your goal on it, like, I don't know, maybe it's like make $5,000 a week, okay? Because we know it's possible in this business. Let's say it's make $5,000 a week. And then maybe it's like financial freedom or annihilate debt next to it. Like these just powerful, energetic words of like, okay, yeah, I want to do that as my goal, but why? And use those energizing words there. Maybe, you know, it's things like we talked about, inspiring people, or having freedom, or having being passionate, or having butterflies about this thing that you've achieved, and these feel good emotions, and make sure you're tying something emotional to it. I don't know, I don't have a clock on my thing anymore. I don't know. I think I have a half-hour video chat on these, but anyway, so what are the action steps? So I have huge goals. Some of you have huge goals, which is awesome. And it may seem like the end goal is really far away. Like I'm thinking right now, I want to be at the end of this year, like 10-star elite coach. And that seems like, crap, I've been pushing for that for pushing for elite or pushing for 5-star for so long. And it seems way far off. But remember to start celebrating your small successes, because if you just get if you harp on this huge goal and it just seems so far away and it never gets closer, or maybe you get closer and then you kind of fall back a little bit, which we do in this business, you're just going to get discouraged. So start celebrating the little things. Maybe you signed on a new coach, celebrate it. If that's what's getting you towards your goal, celebrate it. Maybe you made an extra $50 one week, or you're consistently making just an extra $50 from what you were making last month. Celebrate that. That's a step. That means progress. That means you're building this foundation, that you're doing things that are helping you reach that goal. Maybe you want to quit your job. Maybe, if you're a waitress and you want to quit your job, maybe it's that, and that's the big goal. Maybe the small goal is that you can take a weekend away without freaking out that you're not getting you're not getting a shift that weekend. You have 3 days off, and we know that servers do not get PTO. So you've now got 3 days off where you don't have to stress about your income. Okay, that's a small success that you should be celebrating. Have fun with this business. Don't get don't harp on, those huge goals and just get discouraged that they're taking forever to hit. Get excited about the little things. The more mini celebrations you have, the better your momentum is as you continue on through the year. And enjoy the ride. Let's see. And make sure, and this is huge, make sure that your goals are aligned with your core desire. So you see me encourage you to keep pushing for goals, but make sure that you outline your goals. And as your coach and as your upline, I'm excited for you to do whatever it is you want to do with the business. If you just want to get your Shakeology paid for, I'm going to be excited for you when you do that each month, and we want to celebrate that. So just keep me posted on your goals. That's why I kind of encourage you guys to write down your goals and share them in the page so that I know how I can help you or where to kind of back off or what to do. So I'm happy helping you do, whatever it is you truly want to do. So align your goals with your core desires, something that you think you should be doing. Does that make sense? Don't shoot for 2-star diamond just because it's something that you think has to happen. Do it because you want to do it, because you're emotionally tied to this goal somehow. So I encourage you to take time to write out your goals and not just kind of jot things down because you think they're the next on the list, but to really dig deep and think about, what are these goals? Why do I want to do this? And then we can kind of brainstorm how to get there. Visualization is huge. So at Super Saturday, Sarah Pohl, who is a 5-star elite coach down here, and she led our Super Saturday. She was saying how her upline, which I believe is Brittany Leggett, or one of her uplines is Brittany Leggett, she had Sarah, when she was pushing for elite 5-star, she had her, or Brittany sent her a picture of Sarah, of her, with 5-star elite star behind her. And so every day she looked at it. She set it on the background of her computer, and every day she looked at it, and she hit that goal by the end of the year. And even though she didn't think she was going to, she thought she was so far off, but every day she woke up and she looked at that computer screen and she saw it, and she's like, I can't not be, this is where I'm supposed to be. That sign is already been formed that I'm supposed to hit this goal. I'm going to hit this goal. So, and Liz talks a lot about visualization and reaching your goals, because you see it and it's almost like you can taste it, you can smell it, it's there. You just got to, take the action steps to hit it. And being proactive versus reactive. So if something doesn't go your way, instead of freaking out about it and getting upset and getting discouraged, take it back a step and think, what can I do to change that, to fix it, so to speak, or to rebuild? I have a topic that let me see what I'm doing on time. I was going to talk, I can talk quickly about this. So another suggestion, let me back up a minute. Sorry, lost my train of thought. All right, so an activity that you guys can think of that can help you build your passion. The first question, and I'll give you guys a second to think about this, and if you care to share, please do. But write down, other than time or money, or think about what I want more of is blank. So what I want more of is blank. And if you guys, if you can think of something right off the bat, you can either type it in the chat or say it out loud. But other than time and money, what do you want more of? I'll give you a minute in case everyone thinks of something to come in the chat. And you guys on the phone, I know you can't type in the chat. So it could be something like, I want more vacation or freedom of time. Thanks, Heather. So more freedom of time, having a little more time to just do something, whether it's, whether it's quitting your job, I don't know if it is for you, Heather, but whether it's eventually quitting your job, having more freedom to do whatever you want to do. That's a big one. Some other examples.
It would be nice to quit.
Yeah. Yeah. Freedom, time, financial, travel more. Yep. Vacation time. Just time for yourself, things like that. Things like passion, I want more relaxation, finding things to do that. So things that you're, and we're thinking about this to think about things that you're passionate about. So why are we doing this activity? To think about what really like gets you excited. And then you think about, I need to give myself permission to be more of something. And we don't have to really answer that, but I want you guys to think about, give yourself permission to be more. We give ourselves such a hard time about it, about a lot of stuff, but thinking about it's okay to be such and such. And thinking about, finding time to dive into your passions a little bit more. When we talk about what you're passionate about, it's kind of hard to think about, but when we build our brand on Facebook, you guys can see, okay. Heather, I want to talk to you about that. She just said vulnerable and accepting of criticism. And I know you mentioned that in the team page today, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Thinking about building your brand. So the activity that was done at Super Saturday was creating an avatar for yourself. So find a picture online that kind of like looks like you, and then on the other side or all around it or however you want to design it, talk about the people that you want to attract, or what it is about you. What are some personal characteristics about you that you can write down? Could be like loves dogs, loves to travel, and then some downfalls. Like some of the examples were like, I know, Heather, you were talking the other day about like you take on too much. Like, so you're looking for those people who take on a lot of things and then kind of maybe aren't so organized, or maybe kind of nothing comes to be because it's just so many great ideas. So you might attract people like that who like to have their hand in a lot of different things. So you create this avatar, you sort of like have a paragraph about their personality, and those are the people that you kind of want to attract, right? That's kind of how we build our brand. We talk about our passions, what we like. Those are the people you look for and what you want to build on your team. Thinking about what makes you feel alive, what brings light to you. Maybe you like hiking, family time, traveling, exploring. We discuss this so that you know that it's the passions that drive your business. So be passionate about you. Dana and Gina said Brittany Leggett has an awesome exercise on that, finding customers most like you. Is that on a YouTube video, Dana? These two are so giggly. Is that on YouTube? I don't know if she heard me. That's all right. It's on her. Okay, it's on YouTube, but it's typed out, so it's an exercise. Thank you very much. Are you guys driving? I can't tell what's happening in that picture. So who typed that? Please be careful. Oh, God. Okay. All right. As I will kind of wrap this up because I know I'll probably run out of time. But when we talk about aspirations and we write down all of these things, and we have these big goals and these big dreams, and then we don't hit them, right? We miss them, either by a long shot, by a little bit, by a hair. But it can defeat and define you, or you can reevaluate and move forward. And the only way to succeed in the business is that when those failures come, you just reevaluate, right? You say, okay, well, that didn't work, and you can be down for a little while, but then you got to dust yourself off, pick yourself up, and and reevaluate, reassess how you're going to get there, and let those failures teach you what went wrong so that it doesn't happen again for you. Like, we all have these failures, and you guys know I'm very open with my goals, I think, and what I was looking to do. So last year in the middle of the year, I had a goal to be 5-star elite. Okay, that started to fall away, so I reevaluated and reassessed, and I said, okay, it's going to be 2-star, and I'm going to be a premier coach. And I'm going to pay off my car this year because I had big dreams in the beginning of the year, or in the middle of the year. And I missed all of those big goals. I didn't hit any of them. But when I think about it, what I did get to do was go to leadership in Arizona. Created a team page, which I never thought I was going to do. Earning $500 a week in residual income at this point. I'm a Success Club All-Star. So you have to look kind of between those big, dark gray areas and find the light shining through, and think about all the things that did go well. As soon as you start to do that, you may feel a little better about, your you may be a little more encouraged about what you're doing in this team, and what you're happy with, and what went well for you. And then, so that final kind of take home message is that quote of, shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars, right? So we're shooting for these big goals. Even if you don't hit them during that journey, you're bound to have, succeeded somewhere, and we want to celebrate all those mini successes. So keep sharing in the team page. Now I'm out of breath. Does anyone have questions or points they'd like to share, or things they think, or any goals that they have for this year, or anything? It doesn't have to be Beachbody rank. It could be any of those 7 categories we talked about. And Heather, what happened today? I was talking about your goal of being more open to criticism. What happened?
So can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I just quick, to not take up everyone's time, I had a friend email me saying that she didn't want me reaching out to people like that are our mutual friends, talking to them about Beachbody stuff. So like, one of the daily things is to invite people. I had invited both her sister and one of our, a Facebook friend, like who I know, to a challenge group. And I never heard back from either one of them. Fine, okay, moved on. And then so she messaged me today saying, hey, I know you're doing this thing and it's great, but I would appreciate you not reaching out to people. As somebody who just had a baby, like, I know that like nobody's going to motivate me except myself to lose weight, and you shouldn't just be like reaching out and messaging people if they're not interested. So I said, I responded a little curtly, maybe. And it's just somebody who, like is a friend and has always been a friend, but hadn't, really spoken that much lately. And then like, that's the email that I get from her. So it was sort of like, I apologize. I'm not meaning to like hurt anyone's feelings. And like, oh, I think you need to lose weight. It's more to me about, being healthy and, being around all you guys, all the positive people, like, the whole thing that I really love about it. Yeah, it's great. Like you're able to get fit and stay in shape and whatever. But, there's people of various weights, body types, sizes on our team. So it was just, I think, to me a little.
Yeah, I think it obviously is in the way. Some people are going to take it personally, even though you don't mean to.
Right.
To mean it personally. And just be careful how you're approaching people. My advice, and I don't know how you approach it, I'm not saying you did it wrong, but in those scenarios, we have to be careful about how we do approach people. Saying like, I invite people the same way. Have you ever considered, I'm hosting a challenge group. Have you ever considered blah, blah, blah.
And I don't even say you, I say you or anybody you might know. So not even, necessarily just like you like me focusing on that person. It's me generally telling them about it. Yeah. And then like, and then one I had to respond like, oh yeah, like my mom might be like, I go to the gym and I love it, but like my mom's looking for something or whatever, you know what I mean? But just for her as somebody I hadn't talked to about it just because I knew she wasn't interested and it wasn't her thing, to reach out and say like, don't talk to people I know about it. Then I'm like,
that is
who are
strange
you?
that you said don't talk to
Yeah.
talk to my friends about it.
I was like, okay, I guess you're like Facebook police now, but whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would
anyways,
say you're gonna have that one difficult situation for every 10 great experiences you have.
yeah.
And you're right. Try not to take it personally and just know that you had good intentions about it and it was misunderstood, and then you can explain yourself if you want to, and then move on from there. And you might find that when she is feeling like she needs some help, that you're the one that she's going to come to. Megan just asked Dana and Gina if they're using a selfie stick there. Oh gosh.
Well, thanks.
Sure. Yeah. So I think you're right. You can't take things too personally in this business, and you're going to have people that will either comment rude things or, we've all seen it. We've seen people commenting rude things, and the goal, in my opinion, at this point, is to not get angry about it or defensive about it. Just say, okay, I'm sorry that 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 was not my intention, and go from there and keep it positive. Because the moment we start getting in that back and forth thing, it's sort of where your Beachbody reputation will start to crumble. Dana.
Right, and I just said, I just said that to her too, that there's new moms and pregnant women and older moms and all kinds of people on the team, and it's not that I'm gearing it towards one person or another. It's just sort of a general thing. So
I get you.
But yep,
all about the response. Dana, did you I saw you waving. Oh, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear her? No, I can't hear you. You look so serious. Can you type it? Is your volume, are you on Bluetooth or something in your car? I'm sure you had something mind-blowing to say. Darn. Oh, okay. I had a comment about the invite situation. Please tell. So for you guys on the phone, Dana is just writing that she wanted to comment about the invitations, and she's typing. So we're just playing Jeopardy music in the back. And they've got 10 minutes left of the meeting. I mean, Dana is queen of inviting, so as we can tell, Dana, as she types, Dana's at, I think, either 14 Success Club this month, so congratulations. Okay, if I haven't talked to people in a while, I never do cold invites. I've found much more success just having conversations and letting it come up organically. And Success Club 16, nice job. That's true. That's very true. I still do sometimes cold, well, I think I'm a little bit in between. So you might not do cold invites. Heather might just send like a random message like, hey, I'm having a challenge group. And Dana said, I've had a few people get turned off and it made me personally feel icky, which is never my intent. So same thing with you, Heather. So I can agree to that. So when you're forming is huge. So when you're sending a message, you might just be saying like, hey, how are things going? And commenting on that picture that they posted. And Dana said, if it's someone I've talked to more recently, I feel more comfortable to send an invite. So that's true. So, and a great tip, thank you, Dana, to, if you haven't talked to them in a while, a simple hello, to them and commenting on something personal, or just saying like, hey, I saw you in my chat feed and I hadn't talked to you in a while. And I just wanted to say hi, and leave it that conversation at that. The next time you talk to them, or maybe they're going to start seeing your pictures and maybe they'll be interested, or stick to people who are liking your photos and those kinds of things. But you're right, it will come up organically. I know like Ariel is on the phone and she's not on Facebook. She's not on social media. So she's going to be doing all of these things for now in person. So it's going to be really important to start a conversation organically, start a conversation. And then like Dana said, let it come up organically. What are you up to now? Oh, I'm a physical therapist, but I'm also doing Beachbody, those kinds of topics. So making sure that we're being more interested in them than we are interesting. Remember that line? We want to be interested in what they've got going on before we want them to be interested in us. All right, cool. Well, you don't have to stick to that, Heather, but just start, forming. Instead of sending out that invite right away, just start being like, hey, how are things going? Cute picture of your kid, or thinking of you in your pregnancy, and I hope everything goes smoothly. Something like that. Some people just say like, that's so nice, thanks, nice to hear from you. And then, you sort of made the connection, and then you can leave it at that for a little while. That's important. And Dana and Gina said, just have conversations about anything random or comment or like their posts. And then she said, but also realize some people have no idea what Beachbody is. That's right. So we got to be kind of cautious about catching them off guard. You don't want to catch people off guard and be like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? Okay. Heather, so maybe only form and not invite as much. Forming and inviting equally, but invite the people that you formed with a couple weeks ago. Would you agree to that, Dana? Yeah. All right. They don't know the amazing world they're a part of and just think it's a sales pitch. True. They got to start to follow us. And on that, remember that not everyone sees our Facebook, right? If you go through your Facebook, you're only seeing a small percentage of that. So make sure when you're messaging people that they might not have seen any of your posts ever. Like they may not be getting any of this across their newsfeed. So a simple like, hey, how's it going? Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope you're good. That's forming. That's important. And inviting is just as important. But yeah, maybe Heather, try switching gears a little bit and doing more forming and letting more people come to you and just building those genuine connections first. All right. Cool, guys. In terms of setting goals, whatever they may be, make sure that you're going into, and I will post the link. I don't know if it's set up yet for the new year, but new deadlines. Oh, you're welcome. I see everyone laughing, and I'm like trying to follow what's happening. But new deadlines for the year. So you guys can go into the documents. I'll post the link, but you want to have those dates next to it so you don't miss a big opportunity, right? Like the cruise, like hitting Success Club, like maybe if you hit, I don't know, diamond by a certain date or 2-star diamond by a certain date, you go to leadership, those kinds of things. So, and you can all do that at this point in your business. So my call to action would be to create either a vision board or something that you can see. I recommend a hard copy because we're not always looking at our computer unless it's your desktop or something, but a vision board and all of those concrete goals have some sort of emotional word attached to it, some powerful emotional word attached to it. And I would love to see them. So I'm going to work on mine, and I hope that you guys too, and we kind of just get some aspirations across the Aspire Nation board. No, but it sounds so funny, but I do mean it. So I'd love to see them, and I'd love to help you guys all get there as we all push to do big things in our business. So before we go, we have 3 minutes. Anyone have rank advancements tomorrow coming? I didn't see any today, but I didn't know if I missed any. So happy to have you guys all on. Thank you for joining us. Gina and Dana, thank you. I know, Dana, you have a call tonight at 8:30, so I appreciate you guys hopping on. Ariel, thanks for jumping on your first call. And we've got Megan and Alicia, where I can't see your video. You're hiding, but thank you. Dana and Gina and Jesse and Heather, thank you guys. Good night. I will see you later.